watching WPBF 25 News Mornings.
A 180 weather flip for us, high and dry, finally on our water vapor imagery for South Florida. Find out how warm we'll be today and what changes we're expecting for the weekend on deck.
And Palm Beach County getting ready to close its mass vaccination sites as soon as next month. We got the last opportunities to get your first dose from the healthcare district.
Plus, people around the world celebrating Earth Day today, a local city's move to help protect the environment.
Live, local, late breaking. WPBF 25 News Mornings starts now.
Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. I'm Gianna Caserta in for Aaron Guy.
And I'm Mark Kelly. Thank you for starting your Thursday morning with us. April 22nd right now. Let's get straight to First Warning meteorologist Sandra Shaw with that most accurate forecast.
All right, throwback Thursday, and we're throwing back to some dry weather. Finally for South Florida, after just days of swamp-like high humidity, tropical type downpours, lots of lightning storms. Yeah, looks better today. We are seeing that indicated by the orange sort of brown color on our water vapor imagery. And it's also cooler. You walk out the door, you'll likely need a hoodie in Okeechobee. It's 59 degrees. It's 65 in Indiantown near that North County Airport. It's 68 in Port St. Lucie and Tradition, 68 to Cuesta Jupiter vicinity, Abacoa same, 70 West Palm. We're in the mid 60s in Wellington this morning, and Delray Beach is at 69. Your first warning day planner will surge our temperatures up pretty dramatically into the upper 70s as soon as noontime, but then we're going to stay there. And the reason for that, these brisk northwest winds, which will keep us in a cooler sort of realm, at least for a day or two. So looks good today. Lots of sunshine in store as well. Caroline?
All right, sounds beautiful. Thanks for that, Sandra. Good morning, everyone. Just a heads up, we are still keeping a very close eye on that accident along I-95, headed northbound right there at Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. That accident popping up on my maps probably about 10 minutes ago. We're not seeing it impact traffic. In fact, traffic is still moving great in that area. Let's take a live look outside, and you can see what traffic looks like in that vicinity. You can see I-95 right there at Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, the same location where that accident happened. You can see no issues, no slowdowns because of that crash. Mark?
Yeah, really not bad right now. Caroline, thank you. All right, let's get to the latest on the COVID-19 vaccine front in our state. More than 8.2 million people in Florida have had at least one vaccine dose, and more than 5.3 million people are fully vaccinated with the 2 Pfizer or Moderna shots or the 1 shot from Johnson & Johnson. And also, as Palm Beach County gets ready to close its 3 mass vaccination sites, there are only a few opportunities really left to get your first dose if you still have to do that. So let's go to Waukesha Bailey. She's live at the Burns Road Community Center in Palm Beach Gardens. And Waukesha, first doses, they're going to administer there for the last time today. It's a big milestone.
Absolutely, Mark. And you know what? Maybe this is also a sign of things just getting back to normal. So here at the Burns Road Community Center, in just a few weeks, it will transition and go back to being just that, a community center instead of a vaccination site. And this is the first of 3 in our county to make that transition. Now, the healthcare district of Palm Beach County says mass vaccination sites were never the long-term plan. As more people become vaccinated and retail providers are able to administer doses, the request for appointments at county-run sites is beginning to level off.
There's still interest. It's just that this particular model of mass sites is no longer really necessary.
There are no more appointments left for today here at Burns Road Community Center. There are still time slots left on Saturday at the South County Civic Center. Now, that's the last day of the first doses for that site, and there are still 4 days worth of appointments left at the South Florida Fairgrounds between now and May 6th, which will be the final day of first doses for that site. Now, all 3 sites will close next month after the final second doses have been administered. And up next, the county plans to deploy their mobile vaccine site, which they hope will reach a lot more underserved communities and also reach a lot more people. Reporting from Palm Beach Gardens, Waukesha Bailey, WPBF 25 News.
Waukesha, thank you. The city of Port St. Lucie will be hosting a vaccination event tomorrow to get people the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. It's happening at the Robert E. Minsky Gym on Darwin Boulevard. City officials say appointments are preferred, but walk-ins are welcome starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. To make an appointment, visit cityofpsl.com/vaccine. And if you need help booking a spot, you can always call the number right there on your screen.
The Florida Department of Health reports more than 5,500 new cases of COVID-19. Let's go through the latest numbers. So the total number of statewide cases is at 2,184,000 since the pandemic started, so that's more than a year. The state also reported, though, 85 additional COVID deaths. So that's going to bring the death toll up in our state to 35,294 lives lost to this one virus. Now, for continuing coverage of this pandemic and the vaccine rollout, any time of day, you go to WPBF.com. You can put our mobile app on your smartphone as well. That's where you're going to find the very latest when it comes to local distribution sites. We also included in there different links and phone numbers to help you register to get the vaccine.
Well, it's time to go green and celebrate the Earth. Today's Earth Day, a reminder that individuals can affect positive change on the environment. And here at home, local leaders have been doing their part to protect the Earth. Our Josie Carbonari joins us live in Boynton Beach with the move approved by the city this week. Josie?
Well, Gianna, these are some eco-friendly changes, major changes for vendors in the city of Boynton Beach. They'll no longer be able to use styrofoam within the city or its facilities. It comes after city commissioners unanimously voted to pass the ordinance on Tuesday, which includes a ban on foodware items like plates, cups, and coolers. The use of balloons and confetti are also a part of the ban. City leaders say it's meant to reduce harmful waste following Deerfield Beach and other nearby cities in our area that have implemented similar rules. Now, part of the plan will include an outreach campaign over the next year to educate and help come up with alternative options. Keep in mind, though, during this time, fines will not be enforced. However, after that, you'll first get a warning, but if caught a second time, you could face up to $50 in fines or even get your vendor contract canceled. To be clear, the ban only applies to vendors, so if you use these items at home, you can still do that. Reporting from Boynton Beach, Josie Carbonari, WPBF 25 News.
Changes there, Josie. Thank you. All right, 5 minutes after the hour this morning, free college. That could soon be a reality for many Americans. So we have the push underway to make access to higher education easier, and how lawmakers say they plan to pay for this whole idea.
Plus, the new anti-riot law in Florida already facing a challenge. The lawsuit against Governor Ron DeSantis and why a group argues it violates the First Amendment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good day, everybody. It is 6:09, so it's 61 degrees in Fort Pierce, 64 in Palm City, Wellington is 68, and Lake Worth Beach is 70. Before it's all over, our daytime highs today, 82 degrees, Friday 80, Saturday 86, and Sunday 91. Hi.
All right, Sandra, thank you. 3 local police chiefs and nearly a dozen sheriff's deputies spoke at a police forum in Jupiter.
Now, this forum on the FAU Jupiter campus there was the 8th one in a series that they've been doing that was created shortly after George Floyd's death last year. And they touched on a number of topics last night as well. But a common one, of course, the death of Floyd and the recent conviction of former officer Derek Chauvin.
I can't think of anybody that I know of in law enforcement, and I'm in my 42nd year, that looked at that video and could defend that in any way, shape, or form.
There's nobody who could have watched that video and had any other opinion other than it was a horrible, horrible incident.
Now, they also emphasize citizens should not interfere with law enforcement, but they could also feel free to record everything that they can. Well, Broward County Public School Superintendent Dr. Robert Runcie's attorneys saying that he will plead not guilty on a charge of perjury.
Runcie was taken into custody yesterday and has since been released from jail. School board attorney Barbara Myrick was also arrested and been released. Both officials are charged in connection with testimony they gave to a grand jury which was investigating school safety laws in Florida.
All right, 6:10 right now. President Joe Biden inviting 40 world leaders to a climate summit today. The pledge already coming from the commander-in-chief ahead of that conference.
All right, I want to show you the latest Dow futures right now. So we're down 8 points for the pre-market trading numbers, not as much as an hour ago, but look where the markets closed yesterday. Really a good day on Wall Street. All 3 indices wrapping up in the green. All right, you're getting caught up while you're waking up with WPBF 25 News Mornings. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So breaking overnight, the Israeli military saying a missile was fired into that country from neighboring Syria and that it has struck targets in Syria in response as well. Now, the army says the missile did not cause any damage. However, this incident marks the most serious violence between Israel and Syria that we've seen in years. And now experts say it points to likely Iranian involvement as well. And speaking of, U.S. and Iranian officials say they have made progress in talks aimed at bringing the U.S. back into the 2015 nuclear deal.
Yeah, they're trying to salvage the pact signed by former President Barack Obama back in 2015. Former President Donald Trump then backed out of the deal in 2018. And climate activists are eagerly awaiting today's kickoff of the virtual Earth Day summit hosted by President Joe Biden.
All right, let's go to Caroline Cole. She's got the pledge already coming from the Commander-in-Chief. Caroline.
That's right. Good morning, Mark and Gianna. The president will reportedly promise to cut U.S. greenhouse gas emissions at least in half by 2030. Now, that 50% target would nearly double the nation's previous commitment. All of this coming as he convenes a virtual climate summit with 40 world leaders. Now, the president has made addressing climate change one of his very top priorities since taking office. Hours after he was sworn in, the president signed an executive order rejoining the Paris Agreement, and under that deal, countries promised to enhance their commitments to curb greenhouse gas emissions. Gianna.
All right, Caroline, thank you. Well, the full House is expected to vote today on a bill to make Washington, D.C. the 51st state in the U.S. After last year's House vote, the statehood bill stalled in the Senate, which was then led by Republicans. However, this year, Senate Democrats have an advantage thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris's ability to cast a potential tie-breaking vote. The GOP is against making Washington, D.C. the 51st state, partly because it would likely add 2 Democrats to the Senate. And Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders has introduced a bill that would make college free for families earning less than $125,000 a year. The federal government would pay for 75% of the tuition and fees. States would pick up the rest. The money to cover the costs would come from taxing Wall Street transactions. The College for All Act has been a long-sought goal for progressives, but it faces an uphill battle in the narrowly divided Senate.
Well, Rudy Giuliani's son is now planning to meet with former President Donald Trump as he prepares for a New York gubernatorial bid. Andrew Giuliani says he's going to meet with Trump at Mar-a-Lago next week. And while he's here in Florida, he says he's also going to be meeting with donors and interviewing potential staffers. Giuliani worked under Trump in the White House's Office of Public Liaison, but he has never been elected to any public office. And House Speaker Nancy Pelosi renewing her push for a bipartisan commission to now investigate the January 6th Capitol riot. So she's floating a new proposal to Republicans that would evenly split the panel's membership between the two parties. Now, Pelosi first proposed a commission back in February that would have had 4 Republicans and 7 Democrats.
We've learned the Justice Department has created a task force to focus on combating ransomware. The new initiative comes after the U.S. experienced what a memo claims was the worst year for that sort of cybercrime. In addition to the new task force, the DOJ says it'll develop more training and resources for intelligence sharing and collect more insight from the private sector.
All right, back in our state right now, a social justice group has filed a lawsuit against Governor Ron DeSantis over the state's brand new anti-riot law that just passed. Now, remember, he signed that just this week into law. It essentially creates tougher penalties for people who take part in any violent protests. Now, this one nonprofit group argues, however, the new law violates free speech and due process. The governor's spokesperson saying his office, though, will firmly defend the legal merits of this new law. And staying in Tallahassee, the Florida House passes a bill that would significantly expand eligibility for the state's school voucher programs. Now, the measure would also increase the maximum income eligibility to receive these vouchers up to 375% of the federal poverty level. So, to break that down, that means a family of 4 making about $100,000 a year would still qualify for these school vouchers. A similar bill also ready for consideration by the state Senate. All right, 6:18 this morning. Let's check in with Sandra Shaw.
All righty, so here we go. We've got 62 degrees in Vero Beach. It's only 59 right now in Okeechobee. Dry and clear, a contrast from what we've seen so far this week, which has been the heavy rains and the high humidity. Front finally decided to progress on out of our hair, so it looks good. 70 degrees right now in West Palm. We're in the mid-60s in Wellington and around the Acreage and around Delray and Boynton. We're in the 60s. We've gone up, or dropped, I should say, 3 to 11 degrees from where we were just 24 hours ago. So that's the difference with that front just moving out of our hair. So northwest winds in the wake of the front. They're going to continue to fuel in a nice dry air mass for South Florida, which will be up throughout the course of today. High pressure dominant. So planning your day, first morning day planner will be pretty conservative with the temperatures. I mean, still in the upper 60s when we approach sunrise here shortly before 7, and then 79 to 82 this afternoon. Our benchmark or average high for this date, Earth Day, April the 22nd, is actually 82. So we're in the realm of normalcy. It's a good thing. Front continues to get out of here by about 8 a.m. this morning. High pressure shifts a little bit more to the east. And because of that, later on this week, we'll see more of a southerly wind flow as we get into, I should say, Saturday and Sunday. And that will mean a comeback with all the heat and the humidity. So 2 days, 48 hours to enjoy more comfortable conditions. North winds 10 knots for boaters, a low risk of rip currents, seas only a foot, and low tide is at 10:49 this morning. Your headlines again, to reiterate: cooler, dry today, hot weekend, increasing humidity. Here's how it translates with your first warning 7-day forecast. 82 today, 80 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 86 and 91 respectively. So kind of just very changeable and fluid as we make our way through, but not as far as the atmosphere goes. We're going to be dry throughout. 88 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, low 80s.
All right. Hey there, Sandra. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday, everyone. Traffic still looking pretty calm on the roadways. Taking a nice view of, taking a nice look at southern Palm Beach County. You can see Lake Worth going into Delray Beach, no issues whatsoever. And the same thing as we go all the way up north. Good morning to everyone driving right there along I-95 and Orange Avenue. Shout out to that Fort Pierce area going down south into Port St. Lucie. You guys are also looking great with traffic. I-95 and the Turnpike looking smooth with no incidents to report this morning.
All right, Caroline, thank you. NFL free agent Antonio Brown has resolved a civil dispute with his former trainer.
Now, she had accused the wide receiver of sexually assaulting her. That was in a 2019 lawsuit. Brown, though, countersued, claiming defamation. The wide receiver currently a free agent after winning the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, 6:20 right now. NFL owners approve a series of new rules for the 2021 season.
ESPN reports it includes one that will expand the influence of replay officials. The officials who are stationed in the press box of each stadium now have the authority to consult with on-field referees. They won't be able to reverse calls on their own, but they can offer on-field referees guidance based on what they've seen. And just another reminder that the NFL draft is now just 1 week away. You can watch it starting at 8 p.m. next Thursday right here on WPBF 25. And Florida Atlantic's football coaching staff is reportedly adding a 2-time Super Bowl champion.
Not a bad get. Former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward coming to Boca Raton. He spent the past 2 seasons as a full-time assistant in the NFL with the New York Jets. Now, Florida Atlantic has been revamping its staff for head coach Willie Taggart all throughout the offseason. Well, Disney and a popular clothing brand are giving NFL team T-shirts a whole new makeover. Check these things out. The shirts feature retro-inspired designs for each and every team. Fans can choose from Mickey Mouse, the Avengers, or the iconic Star Wars characters. The T-shirts are now on sale online or at select NFL stores if you want to buy them.
Fans of How I Met Your Mother will soon re-meet the television show. Hilary Duff is starring in a new sequel series of the hit show. Duff, who's also executive producing the show, is the main character and narrator, Sophie, who tells her son the story about how she ended up meeting his father. You can watch it on Hulu. Time now 6:22, a vaccine milestone here in the U.S. The president's goal now achieved during his first 100 days in office, and his message to all Americans on getting their shots.
Plus, addressing safety concerns for pregnant women looking to get the COVID-19 vaccine. We're going to share with you what a new study is now saying specifically about the mRNA vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna when we return.